Do you see this elderly man here? He's Frank Stronach. He's 93 years old. He's a billionaire and he's being railroaded. A bunch of women are coming up from the woodwork to tell their stories and they're going to get him incarcerated. They're going to get him incarcerated for what women do to men on the regular. Women, he's guilty of just groping women. That's his crime. And this is something that women do to men with impunity. Matter of fact, when we're done reading this, I'm going to show you this video talking about R&B singer Mario, who was inappropriately touched on stage. And then it has the audacity to say double standard with a question mark. There's no question involved. Oh, by the way, guys, this guy's a billionaire, right? He's one of these rich old white men that women like to bash on. Notice he has zero immunity to this kind of lynching, does he? I thought he was supposed to be the Epstein class, right? I thought he was supposed to be a pedophile and he was involving himself in eating human flesh, right? Isn't that the latest accusation? Cannibalism? No, he's just an elderly man who tried his luck with grown women and now they're telling their stories. Now, let's look at these two minor offenses. That's what he's guilty of, right? Now, Frank Stronach is accused of preying on young women at Toronto nightclub he owned in 1980. See, this, look how they they express it. He wasn't praying. He was trying his luck. He was trying his luck. That's it. Now, let's see. He's guilty of at least two serious minor offenses. How can they be serious and minor at the same time? Of those he were charged with, and noted that in both cases, he and his victim remained fully clothed. She said Stronach had always been faithful in the justice system. This guy, he's saying, I'm such a good special guy, you know. The justice system won't jail me because I'm an elderly man. No, no. Look, they're talking about maybe up to 10 years if he gets convicted. He's 93. If he does any times, he's going to die in jail, right? And said they have not yet had time to review the 82 written decision with the eye to the possible appeal, right? There'll probably be an appeal, right? Now, Stronach faces another sexual assault involving six different complainants in the York region, which more recent allegations from 1988 to as recently as 2024. 1988. This is what these rich guys don't understand or they don't care. They think, you know, women are out to get me, but they can't. I love women, so therefore they must love me. So guys, they don't work. These billionaires, they're not protecting themselves. They took down the statute of limitations. I think it used to be like 7 year limit. After that, it's too bad. Whatever your stories are, they're not good anymore. So these rich men who are supposed to be in charge, they let them strip that away. So now this guy is being accused of someone from back in 1988. That is criminal. And men allowed that. See, the maximum sentence for sexual assault is 10 years. Now, I don't think he'll get the maximum if he gets convicted. But still, the man is 93. He could die tomorrow. I suspect even 2 years will mean he'll die in jail. This is the kind of hatred society has for men. Now, Stronach was originally charged with 12 alleged sexual offenses. Well, see, they come out of the woodwork. They hit the man with everything involving 7 women. And whatever they stick, they're just hoping something will stick, including indecent assault, forcible confinement, an outdated charge of rape. Outdated. Why is it outdated? Because the old one, rape used to be rape. It used to be the man knocked me down, he forced penetration, right? So they expanded it on purpose so that minor things can be concluded as rape, as a serious charge, right? Again, all these rich billionaires, they let that happen, right? He is not guilty on the other 10 charges. See, so this this is what's so unjust. These women just threw everything at the wall, brought up with their stories, and they don't have anything to prosecute them with. They're just a bunch of stories, which means you can assume they're a bunch of lies, right? And nothing's happening to these women either, right? They can just come up and tell their lies, and it doesn't work, they'll try again, right? Later on. Jane Boone, who is suing Stronach. Wow, they actually have a name because most of these women are being protected. You don't know what they look like, what their names are. Sexual assault events broadly similar to those alleged at his trial, but who is not herself part of the criminal proceedings. She just wants money. She says, he's a billionaire. I want a payout, right? This is extortion. So extortion is legal when women attack men with it. And it was a relief to know that 2 women met the high standard of proof beyond a reasonable doubt. Really, how did they manage that? Again, did they have any physical evidence? Did they have photographs? So they're just stories. I don't see how there could be any reasonable doubt. This happened to me in the past, right? But I also believe the other 5 women that their lies should be heard. Right? So there you go. There's women's attitude towards men, right? The identities of the other 2 victims are protected by a publication ban. See, so men don't get to see their accuser, right? That's something that was always expounded for decades, right? In a just legal system, you're allowed to face your accusers. We don't get to see who these women are, right? Let's see what the actual crime was. Oh, look at this. 1983, Judge Ann Malloy wrote in the reasons the victim turned to Mr. Stronach for help when she was fired. Wow. Can you imagine a guy doing that? Do you think I was fired? So I'll just go up to this billionaire and ask him for his help. Wow. So she expected something from Stronach, didn't get what she wanted, then came up with this story. That's what happened. He took her out for dinner and afterwards to his nearby condo at the waterfront. Now, she knew what he wanted when he was taking her to his apartment, right? She became uneasy. Yeah, then why didn't she leave, right? I don't believe that whatsoever. And said she wanted to leave. Okay, that's just the story, right? When he was helping her on with her coat near the door, Stronach ran his hands up and down her breasts and hips without her consent. So again, she's doing what women do to men on the regular. This woman in this concert, she was not even tossed out, from what I understand, right? So that's what he's guilty of. The victim of decent assault, now 74, right? Right. So this is ages ago. So we don't have any rights as men. A woman can come out of the woodwork from decades ago, tell lies about us, and get us put behind bars. Now, I'm not going to go too much down because the other victim was this victim, the other lyncher, she was basically saying the same thing. These are minor offenses. So this guy groped these women. I'll put this article in the description box. You guys can read it. You'll see that they're just two like cases of groping. And they're going to throw this elderly man behind bars. And again, he's a billionaire. He doesn't have any immunity or resistance. All men are beneath all women. These nobody women can come up and make up stories about this billionaire, and he's going to suffer for it. Now we'll get into the double standard, right? You see, again, this is Television Jamaica. It has over 1 million subscribers, but in half a year, only 4.2K views about this, right? You know why? Because YouTube does not push this kind of material. Matter of fact, it suppresses it. YouTube suppresses this. It only has 3 comments. Oh, sorry, 4 now, right? Oh, because I commented, right? And 1 is a troll that should be removed, right? So again, YouTube suppresses anything that points out the, double standards that men suffer, the injustices. Now you're going to see this young lady. This is only 6 months old. She has the same attitude now as women did 10 years ago. Nothing has changed.
Everybody, welcome back to Daytime Live. Now, there's a video circulating on social media, right? It shows Grammy-nominated singer Mario being inappropriately touched by a married female. Oh no, hold on, no, she's married. A married female fan during a concert.
See, hey, all you guys, all you married losers, this is what marriage means. Of course, there's some fool come in and call the guy, the woman's husband, a cock, like he has any control over what she does. But anyway, she can't use the word groped, right? That would make the women look bad. So inappropriately touched. It's sexual assault when that guy did, when that old man touched these women. These women, they're just being inappropriate.
Now, the clip has stirred massive discussion online, with many pointing out the selective outrage that would likely follow up if the same thing had happened in reverse. Now,
yeah, what he's pointing out, like I said, I heard this talk 10 years ago. Nothing has changed. That's why there doesn't have to be a discussion. There's nothing to discuss. There's a double standard. It's wrong. And that's why we need an appropriate MRM to start speaking up for men.
today we have dancehall star Razor B, who joins us to weigh in and bring the conversation into a local context. But first, let's take a quick look at the clip.
Now this is pointless because they blur it. You're not showing anything, so this is pointless. If it's so bad that you can't show it on public, how come this woman isn't behind bars like that elderly man they're trying to throw in, right? How come she wasn't booted out of the concert? Right? Female singers, if a man touches them, she doesn't have to sue him. This guy will be shown his place. There'll be a bunch of male thugs there run in to beat him up and throw him out.
All right, my girl said, me not see nothing.
So that was the thing. And as that
now notice how she's laughing. You see, this is people's attitudes in general, but especially women. It's like, yeah, you know, I would have broken a man's personal boundaries. It's so good when we do it, right?
true Jamaican woman here, I know. Me not see nothing. Me not see it.
Sure again.
Yeah, zero outrage by these people, is there?
Sure again.
So he was performing, standing on stage, at the edge of the stage, and the fan reached up and grabbed his...
He was performing on stage.
He was performing.
He said he was standing on stage.
Clock that. And the fan touched his private
Razor,
area.
welcome to Daytime Live.
Thank you.
Just say it's crotch, lady. Jeez.
Thank you.
What did you say when you walk out there? But you know, like,
No, I mean, I said, even I mean, whenever I'm on the show, I try to do my best to come out much cleaner than you, because I know you always, you know what I mean?
but you
Oh, by the way, guys, I do have a hard time understanding them because the accents, right? And some of the lingo I'm not familiar with. Right?
saw this clip. Let's put it into a local context. When Jamaican male performers or male artists.
Okay, notice he said local. Who cares about the local? It's either right or it's wrong.
On stage.
Yeah.
Is it deemed okay for female fans to operate like that, grope, touch inappropriately?
Well, I wouldn't say it's appropriate, you know, but, you know what I mean, our culture, it happens to the best of us, to be quite honest with you, you know what I mean? Like, so.
Yeah, so he's admitting, yeah, women touch us inappropriately all the time. They sexually assault you, dude. That's what they do. Again, that's what it's considered when men touch women inappropriately. It's sexual assault. So this guy, Razor, is admitting that men get sexually assaulted on the regular. Right. And nothing happens to these women.
It happens all the time, and for we, as the dancehall scene, dancehall fraternity type of music, you know what I mean? Like you've seen it many times, you know, we love it, so we pretty much push ourselves into it, which is wrong. It's not right. I'm not saying, you know, because if it was reversed,
Right. So
Don't make excuses, dude. Don't make excuses. People should have the right to try their luck. Right?
distinction, we're talking about male Jamaican artists.
Yeah.
Right. And if the flip side was a
If
female.
the flip side, well, you know, I mean, a problem that.
But then,
and I don't think either way, it's not right. It's just in the mood and the energy and the vibration.
This is mealy mouthed. Either way, it's not right. No, one gender's going to prison over this. The other gender does what it likes.
And like nobody is allowed should be allowed to touch the artist while they're performing. But when they think about the dancehall space, you know what I mean, and the viral and all Instagram and all TikTok and everything is.
But you know why that can confuse we though?
Yeah.
And not to single anybody out, but we've seen like a Dexter Daps how he performs and maybe like a 450.
Yeah.
Very immersive. He's in the crowd and everything.
She's making an excuse, right, guys? You know, when a man is being sexual, women should be allowed to touch him. He's asking for it, right? This is what I remember decades ago when I was young guys. They say, oh, she was dressed inappropriately. And women would come out and say, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. They'd get all up, fired up. And now here this woman in 2026 is making the same excuses.
Sometimes bringing some of those female fans on stage, we get very touchy-feely because it's a part of the performance. Is it then that we're to assume that that is maybe not a part of the deal? Oh, Sean, them people that go out and trace songs and take off their shirt and push out so we can touch them.
Janet Jackson and Beyonce call people on stage and tie them up. But they're not really touching it. But groping is a little bit different, like I said. You know,
right.
Where now you're in a person's private space, and you know what I mean, whether an individual married or not, then you're not supposed to touch anyone, because if Spice up on stage and some
he's trying to make a distinction. You know, this is touching their chest or whatever. Dude, if Beyonce was performing, do you think a guy could get away with touching her thigh? You know, it's not her breast or her crotch. Do you think a guy could? He couldn't, and you know it.
But grab her like that or any other
trouble.
A trouble.
A problem.
Problem. Yeah.
That is instantly.
Yeah.
But but
when fans cross a line, who gets a pass? These are stupid questions.
Yeah.
It's just what would happen in the aftermath, where it would be the female on stage, female artists on stage, and it would just become a whole bigger issue about how men treat women.
Yeah.
Versus
There you go. He's saying, you know, if a man does it, it becomes an issue, right? It talks about like, who are these second-class citizens who don't know how to behave themselves? Let's make some laws to strip them of their rights. That's where this goes.
is if it was a male artist, if it wasn't something that was taken up online and become a discussion issue, it probably would have just passed
over,
by
right.
to be like, yeah, man, yeah, man, and
But are
woman
you-
supposed to.
But are you really offended though? Would you really be offended if
There you go. There she is. Would you really be offended, though? You know, you being a man who just you're just an animal. You like sex and you like us touching it. Just admit it. That's what she's saying. Give us women a pass because we're so much above you.
someone were to grope you? Because, you know, in Jamaican context, again, there are certain things where if it happens to a man, man, tough out that.
In Jamaican context, right? Funny, this Jamaican context doesn't work when the genders are reversed, right?
No,
Man
yeah,
and
man
man.
and man still me understand man and man, but when you have a significant other and you know what I mean, it's wrong, you know? Like especially if you're married.
Oh, I see. So if you're a single man, Razor, women should be allowed to invade your personal space whenever they feel like it, right? It's only us married men who are so special, who's been validated by the opposite sex. We're the ones that should have some kind of equality to women, our betters, right?
Have someone else in it, you know?
Yeah, and it's man and man thing. It's not a.
It's not a man and man thing. It's just you're performing, you're entertaining your fans. You're there to entertain them. You know?
It's respect.
And it's respect.
Respect. Boundaries.
There's a boundaries, you know what I mean? And certain things that cross. It happened, like I said, it even happened to me. It happened here. It happened overseas.
We'll actually show the video, and this time it has some audio
It has, okay.
to get a bit of
More
context.
context.
Yeah.
I'm going to get past it because I listened to the audio. It's not really, you can't really hear it, but he basically said, don't do that, right? So get past it.
And just moves up. I like how he handled it in terms of, you know, not making a big deal out of it.
Continuing.
You see, you know, I like how he handled it, right? These women can lie about a man from decades past to get him thrown in jail. But we can't do that to the women, right? I like how he handled it. He didn't get upset, right? He didn't get her thrown out of the concert, right? That's just for us male N-words, right? You know, it's good that you treat our betters like they are our betters, right?
The performance.
Right. At the same time. But boundaries and this male-female differentiation and what do you call it? The two ways that you approach the same issue. The double standard. That's it. The double standard of male performers and female performers and what should happen.
Wow, he's having a hard time saying double standards. Dude, why are you having this conversation at this time in history? Men are getting thrown behind bars for touching women inappropriately. That elderly 93-year-old man thrown behind bars for trying his luck.
I know you use a take off shirt and all them. Him, Razor just want to feel like you sweat. All of a sudden, him take off the whole of
shirt off
it.
and jump in a crowd and something.
Yes, I'm not mind.
Because I'm an entertainer. I like to entertain, right? Yes, but when somebody's going to touch you in a private area, then that's crossing the line. You know what I mean? Like touching the chest or the arms or whatever. You know what I mean? The legs or whatever.
How women hand reach?
See, there's zero passion. There's zero outraged involved. It's all very blasé. You know, it's inappropriate when someone touches my crotch, you know. Men are such beggars.
Like me couldn't, sorry.
No, listen.
Don't listen to me. But I try to reach further, but it stopped.
I think it should just be respected.
It should be respected. I don't worse. I say she married, like, imagine I was going to say that.
Should just be respected. What if they don't, though? What if these women don't respect you? Then what? Like that, again, that woman who touched that guy's crotch. What happened to her? She wasn't even kicked out of the concert. But do go on.
Well, what kind of problem she have at home?
Well, that's between
like, it's a domino effect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It creates a domino effect.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I would just encourage the females. I mean, when you see artists performing, just don't do that.
Oh, a domino effect, right? He's saying, you know, if one woman gets away with it, others will do it. Well, yeah. Well, that's why it's been happening to you, dude, because there hasn't been any consequences.
In a situation like that, is it harassment? Sexual harassment per se?
It is.
It is.
It is.
Definitely.
It's all a question when a woman does it. Do you think it's sexual harassment? What, to touch my crotch? Why don't I touch your crotch? We'll see if it's sexual harassment.
That's something that you can be prosecuted.
Just imagine
by
you're
the
on
law for.
stage doing a host and somebody, you know what I mean, reach and grab you inappropriately. Like,
Remember in the workplace, you know, if you
I
do that,
know.
you know, HR,
You get in trouble.
HR.
HR. But
He mentions HR. Exactly. HR is there to get men fired and punished at a woman's word. That's what HR is. That's why I wouldn't allow it in any workplace I had.
but you but just no reason if you go make a report, say the person touch you, your brethren them.
I go laugh
I
off.
go laugh at
Right.
you
Yeah.
and
That now got my...
Especially
not
the
in
Jamaican
Jamaica.
space.
Not in Jamaican space.
Jamaican space.
The Jamaican space, the aggression and the mood and the, you know what I mean, the energy that you're flowing with and going with, it just flows. It flows and just like, yeah, right, you know?
if I
What does this got to do with anything?
dancehall though, because in dancehall music, the men like to boast about their
Prowess.
prowess.
There you go. She's more excuses, right? It's all right for us gals to like invade your personal space. And here's my excuses.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you tell me say 5, 10, 15, 20 and such,
25, 30.
25, 30,
35,
all
40.
night long,
Yeah.
Gilala,
Yeah.
Jacama,
Yeah.
don't have me not trouble you. Me just say,
So she's saying, hey, you guys wanted it. That's what she's saying. That's what women used to complain about us guys, right? She wanted it. Now that they're using this exact same language. And nothing has changed. Women have always felt like this. Right.
Stula.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All
Broke
these
back.
things,
Yeah,
broke back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you go through all of that, 9, 10, 11, 12 length and all these things, when you come on
There's a lot of numbers being thrown around.
stage and you, Dufton, what do you fix your face?
No, I'm just amazed at.
Yeah.
Fix your face. You know, you're supposed to support whatever bullshit I'm saying.
So when you come on stage, you've already painted this image in my head, and
That's inviting.
that is inviting, and you're boasting about you
Right.
know
There you go again. You told me that you wanted it. Right.
these things that you can do, and here you are thrusting probably on stage or whining in a particular
women
kind of
do
way
the
that's
same
suggestive.
thing, but women do the same thing.
That's true.
They also boast about their prowess.
See how men go like, yeah, but women do the same thing. Where's the outrage, dude? How come you don't go after this woman? Say, what are you talking about? You're saying the guy wanted us to be sexually assaulted? This is what men have to start saying.
You understand what I'm saying? I leave it alone because you can say the instant I say HR.
There you go, right? He can't even speak his mind. You can say it. You're my superior. You're my better. You know, we black guys can't say it, but you white people can.
HR.
Yeah.
Good
You know
dear
what I'm
God.
saying?
All right. Remember, I say a video like that with Dexter. You know what I mean? With the same grouping situation, but
Right.
it never go so viral. Like Mario video.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it was fine, it was okay. You know what I mean?
Because
of
it-
culture, we are saying, yeah, I mean, man, you know what I mean?
Man,
Dexter,
he's not a
the
he's
gala
male,
artist, yeah.
he's Dexter Daps, he's
Yeah.
the type of songs that
Yeah,
he
That he
does.
sings,
And all that.
exactly.
These are, they're just, yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're making excuses. See, he wanted it, dude. Dressed inappropriately. He was asking for it. He was asking for it. Right?
Well,
It's kind of like you're inviting that
Yeah.
kind of.
So that's what I'm saying. Maybe different folks, different.
See, now, we all know that that woman would not accept that excuse from men.
Show different culture, you know? And
Come, me
now
wouldn't
it's
grow
just
killer. Me wouldn't
Yeah,
killer.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
no, man.
like, we are do. Yeah, yo, we are do.
No, but you have to move your hand.
Different culture. Notice that different culture doesn't fly if women feel insulted, right? Like female circumcision. They don't care that it's another culture or their religion. They get that shit banned.
Dang, I think somebody tried to tell you once we on stage. But here's the thing about it.
Yeah.
when a male artist is groped, it is him inviting.
There you go.
But when a
He's
female,
inviting that type of behavior.
No, sir.
But the female no, I'm talking about perception.
Okay.
But if a female artist is,
Yeah, the perception all three of you showed, or at least you two, right?
is anyway touched, it's assaulted, and men should be able to compose
Control
themselves,
themselves.
control and understand that she's just singing and performing. So it's
There you go. That's as far as I'm going to go here. Exactly. It's sexual assault when men do it. So this elderly man, decades in the past, you know, he would grope a woman, try to get lucky, and now they're trying to throw him behind bars over that, over this. This is disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. And again, because men have no solidarity with one another, because they actually like seeing other men suffer, these billionaires, they don't work together and say, we got to do something about this. These billionaires, they'll change laws, you know, like tax laws, so they can absorb, steal from the poor, right? They're all for that. But to defending themselves and other men from, you know, being lynched by women at a moment's notice, they don't care about that. They only care about getting out of it themselves. Every man, I have faith in the legal system. The special little me, I'll be let go. But I don't want to change the system, the rigged system, because I want to know that other men go behind bars, right? All I got to say is this elderly man is getting what he deserves, because these billionaires, they could have done something. Again, they lobby the law all the time. And that they were absolutely fine with the average guy getting railroaded. Now it's their turn. All I got to say, Stronach, it looks good on you.